DTM in June 2019 and continue on with the Pathways program. The class from Hell was inspired by her more than 7 years taking classes at UGA. She has taken more than 80 UGA classes and will share with us today her least favorite. Please welcome Jessica Parks.
80 UGA classes equals 3 months of working a full-time job. For several years, I woke up at 9:04 to run dramatically to my 9:05 Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. Occasionally, I might have overslept the final, which causes me to lose 10 points off my final grade. I might have even taken a final and had my alarm clock go off. That's a sound in a room of 300 and something people having the TA yell, "Turn that off!" And of course my phone froze up, so I couldn't. But none of those 80 classes compared to the class from hell. Now you're probably thinking, Jessica, it's not that bad. You know, surely it can't be the class from hell. And I say to you, you don't know what you're talking about. Hell is estimated to be over 850 degrees, which is Georgia in June times 10. Hell is also a place where the wicked go to be punished. The wicked go to be punished. Which begs the question, what the hell did I do wrong? I mean, surely I drive at least 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. And yes, I have a potty mouth where I can't stop saying F and D and S and MF. But is that really worth it? To have to deal with Professor Satan every Monday? And his demons? In order for you to understand why this is the class from hell, I must take you back to April. When Jessica was meticulously and diligently on Athena trying to figure out her schedule for the fall because she knew she does not have time to play around. And I realized that since this is the class from hell, it would actually be the perfect example of torture. I'm an organized, diligent person, and the class is frivolous, stupid, pointless, and otherwise a waste of my time. So it makes sense that whoever would want to torture me with this class, right? Nonetheless, I'm looking it up and I realize, yes, this class is going to be from 9 to 12 on Monday. Typical of grad student classes to be 3 hours long. And as we fast forward to the fall semester, the Saturday before the first day of class, me and Bay decided that we were going to spend Saturday night and Sunday night together doing, movies and whatnot thing before hell starts. Except for one small problem. Got that email from Athena, the one that says log in so you can see the time and class change for your class, and looked it up. The class was rescheduled from 8 a.m. to 11. I am not a morning person, so literally every day I drag into class and sit down, drink my coffee, and just bored out of my mind wanting to sleep. The first day of hell was something that is too torturous for me to relive. The professor stood up there and for 3 hours read the syllabus to us. No having cell phones visible during an exam period. Please go to this website to see the notes. Homework will be turned in via ELC. What the hell? Why am I doing this? Why is this man reading to me? I can read. I'm in grad school. But that wasn't the worst thing. I entered the second level of hell when I received the notification about our first quiz. Quiz, he said in class, would be 20 minutes long, and you can bring one sheet of paper for your cheat sheet. Okay, 20 minutes, that's not that bad, Here again, let me just, chill. I'm not going to study because I took 4 stat classes, so you would think I would know a little bit of something about stats, right? So again, I had plans for Saturday and Sunday night. Again, the only time I get to enjoy my life. Until on Saturday, when the demon TA sent us an email saying, "Hi class, the quiz is going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes long. And your cheat sheet can only be the size of an iPhone." I don't own an iPhone, so how am I going to know how much of a cheat sheet I have? Needless to say, I came in that morning grudging and sitting down at this unorganized chaos, took the test, and turned it in, got back up, grudged, went back home, and then the next week, we received our quiz results. Again, somebody who's taken 4 stat classes before should probably at least make an A, right? No. 84. Not because I did not get the answers right. Oh no. To further make the class from hell, I got points taken off because I did not show my work. Fellow Toastmasters, I have one rhetorical yet deeply philosophical question to pose. How do you show your work for finding the mean, median, and mode of 1, 4, 4, and 4? I would think that just by writing 4 down that would be sufficient. However, no, I didn't write. Since there are 3 4s and 1 1, the mode is 4, therefore losing points off of something that I got right in the first place. So for those of you guys who are wondering, Jessica, this isn't the class from hell. Again, you're wrong. Don't let an apparition like ghost make you think that I'm crazy, because I'm not. My mother has always said to me, Jessica, God would never put more on you than you can bear. And I say to my dear mother, whom I love so much, you have not met Professor Satan and his demon TAs. Thank you.
Okay, that was another great speech by another seasoned Toastmaster. So write your criticisms on your ballot and also vote for the best speaker of the day. We're all speakers in time, Jake?
No. Tyler was 5:46, and it was supposed to be from 6 to 8, but the other 2 were in time.
5:46.
5:46 is actually within time.
Because we have the
You
30
30
seconds.
seconds.
Oh, so it's 30 seconds on both
On
directions?
both sides, yes.
Ah,
Did you repeat one time? Could you repeat the timing of?
it was 5:46.
Tyler was 5:46, exact in time?
They were everyone else was in time.
So then now vote for the best speaker between Zach, Jessica, and Tyler. And also, you may get food during this time if you want to. Now moving on to our second part of the speech, meeting, table topics. This is where everybody gets over their fears of public speaking. So if you don't, and you get up here and you don't know what to say, don't stand like an apparition. Just say whatever first comes to your mind. And bringing down our topics master of the day, Tricia Perez.
Good evening, everyone. So, as Nasir mentioned, this topics master is the section where you get to practice on your public speaking off the top of your head thinking. And so since today's meeting is Halloween themed, we have some spooky scenarios where you'll try to work your way out of them. So to choose your number, I know you have candy, but I use this as a way, it has the numbers, so when I call you can come up here, pick a candy with the number that you have will coordinate to a scenario, and we'll go on from here. And for time limits for this section, you have between 1 to 2 minutes, and your goal is to at least reach the 1 minute. So for our first victim, fits the theme, can we have Isaac? Number 12. All right. You needed an operation to help your eyesight, but it wasn't the most successful in the traditional sense, since your eyesight didn't return. Instead, it left you with the ability to distinguish heat signatures. 3 weeks have passed, and you're still not sure how to politely ask your best friend why his heat signature is room temperature. What type of heat signatures can you sense? How will you eventually build up the courage to ask your best friend about the heat signature? What does it mean if your friend is room temperature?
Okay, so if my roommate was room temperature, I probably wouldn't ask them why, because that's not really possible unless they're like a vampire or something. So I would probably just get out of there as soon as possible and leave them in the dust. I don't want to be a vampire, even though now I can see heat signatures, which is really weird and messed up at the same time. And then I'd probably not tell anyone, because I also don't want to be like a science experiment, which universities love doing. And I would be in every clinical trial possible, and I don't want to be in every clinical trial possible. So I probably wouldn't tell anyone, and keep it myself, and just act like a blind person, pretty much am. Well, I guess I could use the heat signatures, I guess, to see my surroundings and people a little bit. That would be helpful. But I would mostly just keep it to myself, even though it would be paralyzing just holding that in. But I'd rather not be a lab rat. Thank you. You don't want this? No, you can't be. No.
Or you can add it to the pile.
Okay. Add it to the pile.
Okay. Second person. Haley.
Is this 11? No, it's 9. Sorry.
Number 9,
People eyes.
yes. Number 9. Okay. You and your 2 friends decide to go on a ski trip during winter break. After a disastrous travel with delayed flights, lost baggage, and dead cell phone batteries, your trio finally reaches the resort and try to catch the last ski lift to the top of the snowy mountains. Midway through the ride, you find yourself stranded at the top of the ski lift overnight, alone and cold on a mountainside. Your bad luck unfortunately continues, and everyone becomes increasingly more desperate, left dangling above a snow-capped mountain with a winter storm fast approaching. How will you and your friends return back to safety and civilization?
Skiing. Who really likes skiing? I don't like skiing, and yet here I am, dangling some 60-odd feet above the snow.
The temperature's dropping. My friends are hating me. I'm hating my friends. I don't really know why I'm here. Ah, yes. It'll be fun, they said. Skiing's great, they said. You'll love it. You'll do fine. This is obviously not true, because it doesn't look like I'm going to get to do any skiing. I'm going to do sitting, I'm going to do freezing, and I'm possibly going to do dying. But I will not be doing skiing. So, we're in Colorado, not skiing, but rather sitting, freezing, and dying, remember? And I'm looking to one friend on this side. Skis ready, poles here. Not doing anything. I'm looking to one friend on this side. Skis ready, poles here. Not doing anything. I'm looking to the bears below us, because of course there are bears. And I'm thinking to myself, can I survive a 60-foot fall? I remember reading at one point that humans can survive up to a 3-story fall. How deep is that snow? If I push one of them off and they get up, then I'll know I'm good. So I'm pondering, freezing, sitting, not yet dying, but I am certainly not skiing. Thank you.
Very creative response. Next person. Aiden, yes. Oh, you don't? Well, just choose one to pick a number.
That's so healthy.
What numbers?
Because I will eat it if someone doesn't take it on my hand. I'm not supposed to.
You can give it to me, but tell her your number first.
Yeah,
so
the
she
number
can
on
get
the
show going.
on the can.
It's 10.
10. You live in an alternate reality where, unfortunately, a deadly outbreak occurs in your home state and is rapidly spreading all over the world. In this reality, those who are affected with the new disease don't become the walking dead or vampires or beasts. They get sick and they die. That's it. When there's no physical being to fight, how do you defend yourself and your family from an airborne pathogen? What items do you use to survive this post-apocalyptic scenario?
So historically, the people that survive the epidemics are always the ones who live in low population areas and mountains. So there's plenty of that here in Georgia. Just go there. Items-wise, yeah, I guess if you're having to wander out of an urban area and there's a pretty nasty outbreak, it's actually pretty difficult because pretty much everyone is trying to get out. So I would say car at least, boots. I don't want to get this too dark. A gun. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. I'm really bad at these. I'm sorry.
How many people will you try to see? Will you try to bring others along, or just you
Bring my
and your
immediate
friends?
family and closest friends. So that's it.
There you go. Nice job.
On the board, no worries.
All right, next person. Yes, Kyle. Number 8. There's a moment of apprehension everyone experiences immediately after boarding a plane. Who will you be sitting next to? The answer to this question means the difference between a pleasant flight and an agonizing journey. What if the charming young woman you shared small talk with before the plane took off revealed herself to be a psychopath, intent on murdering you and even your family after you land? What will you do? How will you survive this plane ride?
So, to begin, this really hits home with me because I've kind of recently started to move past the phobia of flying. So, you know, this having this question asked to me kind of might bring that phobia back, which I really hope doesn't happen going on my next flight. I've had some pretty bad flight experiences, and this probably would top them all, even though I have had not seasickness, but food poisoning on a plane, and that was pretty miserable. So my question was, how would I feel about this, or how would I combat this?
Yes. How will you survive the plane ride having this psychopath as a passenger next to you?
You know, I don't know, maybe I would just kind of poison myself with food sickness and try to use the bathroom as many times as possible. It would at least provide some form of procrastination where I'm walking back and forth to the bathroom as many times as possible, and maybe in those walks to the bathroom I can kind of one by one gather my family, move to the front of the plane, you know, maybe kind of just hang out by the coffee with the flight attendants, and then as soon as that plane lands, you know, we're getting off the plane as quickly as possible. That's my best bet, I guess. Thank you guys.
Next person. You in the black sweater and the glasses. Yeah. No. What's your name? Bailey. Bailey.
Four.
Number 4. You awake to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting your firstborn child. As you adjust to a new sleeping position, your arm brushes against your partner sleeping right next to you. Who could it possibly be comforting your newborn? What will you do?
Okay, so one of my biggest fears is actually being a mother. I talk to my friends about this a lot. I personally can't see myself being a mother. It's something very painful, probably shouldn't be painful, but it's very difficult for me to imagine and to see myself in that position. But I will also say, I'm a very protective person of people I love and care about, so I can imagine that it'd be something like Obsessed, you know, the movie with Beyonce, and she's like, her husband, she thinks he's cheating. There's the lady at his job who's like trying to be with him, and she's at her house, and she's rocking their child, and Beyonce's like, you know, might be time for Mortal Kombat to come out. So I think my first action is to get up. Probably wake my husband up, but I mean, come on, we're strong, independent women here, 20th century, so. I get up, I walk to the room, reference the shotgun again, you know, probably save his bet, and I just go to town. I just go to town. I mean, it's my kid, you know, so, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you're behind Haley. Yeah, you. Ishan. How do you spell it?
Y-I-K-I-A-N.
And what number you have? Yeah, that's number 11.
Yeah.
11. Okay. So we're back at the airplane again, but you're in the bathroom looking at something in the mirror. Earlier, you shared small talk with the pilot and co-pilot. They've mentioned some possible upcoming turbulence. Suddenly, the cabin erupts in chaos, and you're thrown around like a rag doll. The back of the plane rips open. Within seconds, you're plummeting straight into the open ocean. In the middle of your descent, you see some emergency items flying by, as well as a nearby island. What materials do you grab? How will you survive once you land in the ocean? Do you try to save anyone?
First of all, I would not save anyone. Because I'm not sure how many I'm going to save myself. Man, I'm bad at survival, so if I fall and I see emergency items, I probably won't grab any of them because I'd probably be screaming and then thinking about the impact when I hit the ocean. And hopefully I just die when I hit the ocean. That way I won't have to suffer when I get to the island and think about survival. And I'm not sure if there's... I'm a person that rather prefer quick death than a long death, so it's dark, but I mean, come on, you're jumping, you flew off an airplane and you already knew it was gonna happen. What can you do? Some people, maybe if there's a parachute, I might grab that, but I'm not sure how to use a parachute, so either way, I'm screwed. But, let's see, what other items is possible? Probably those seats in their airplane. It says you can grab it and then hopefully when you hit, it's like acts like a cushion. But I'm not sure how safe that is, so I never tried it. People advertise, oh, it's a good safety factor like seatbelt, but come on, people still die anyway. So just saying. So like I said, I prefer the quick death, and if I do get into the ocean, I don't know how to swim, so no matter what scenario, I'm probably screwed unless I just fall onto another airplane and then probably grab onto whatever I can and then hope for the best. That's it.
Next person next to Kyle, right beside Adana. What's your name?
Nasir.